Hello, long time no talk. um, it's been a really long time since I last made a video, let alone sat down and talked. So I just thought I would do a really quick update about my life so far here in Korea. Yeah, so it has officially been over a year since I've been here in Korea. I stepped foot over a year ago. I have not worked yet over a year yet, but I will be next week. But yeah, since the last update that I have given about work was the 1 month working in a hagwon, you know how that is. So 1 year update. It's pretty decent. I'd like to say it's definitely a step up from the beginning of the year. I am doing a lot better. I know what I'm doing now. I do get somewhat more support than I was before. I do want to disclaim like a little bit though. At that time, it was a really hectic time, especially now that I noticed like how the year progresses. It's definitely a really hard time now, so I do understand the lack of training or the lack of support that I was receiving. Still kind of suck though, like I have to learn everything by myself. I still am learning everything by myself, but I do now get more support with other teachers, with other superiors, stuff like that. So yeah, thanks. So I am doing a lot better. I do know what I'm doing most of the time now. So there is, like, I'm just less stressed out, I guess. I mean, like, a different type of stress. I'm always going to be stressed out, but it's less about what the hell am I doing now kind of stress. So there's that. And at the beginning of the year when I started, I had just taken over people's classes, so they've already established rules and expectations of the kids, and I kind of just had to take that over. So I started afresh when it was a new school year, and I started with my own group of kids. And because I'm an elementary teacher, it's kids that were there before in the kindy program, and I knew some of these kids, so it was nice to see familiar faces. Some of them I've never seen before, but at the same time, they're new. Like, I've never taught these kids before. I don't know what they're capable of. I had to figure it out by myself, and honestly, it's truly amazing to see how much the kids have grown throughout the year. And it's like because you taught them, and it's just very rewarding. I won't ramble on that though, but yeah, most of my classes are all boys, which is like very difficult because most of them are really like high energy, so that's really cool. But yeah, I think I've decided that I'll actually be staying an additional year, so I will be signing again for an additional year. Yay! I don't know if that's the best choice right now, but it's what my gut is telling me that I should be doing, so I'm going to listen to it. But yeah, I'm re-signing, so that's really exciting. And yeah, I mean, not to say that this whole year was like rainbows and flowers and butterflies. It was definitely hard, and like in work, it was definitely hard. And I had my fair share of battles that I had to fight. Like, a lot of the higher ups were questioning me as an educator, which really effing sucked at that time. It made me question like the whole reason why I was here, and like what the point was, and if it was even worth it anymore. But yeah, like, not to say I did not have my fair share of questioning whether or not I should just go home. Should I just cut my contract? Should I just midnight run? I've had all those thoughts. I still have those thoughts. But it's gotten a lot better. So things hopefully are okay now. But yeah, like, I had a lot of people questioning me and like big brothering me, and it really sucked at the time. But I'm not one to let people just walk all over me and like do things that they don't have reasons for. So I asked my questions. I made sure like they had a reason for what they were saying and where they were getting their sources from. And that's another thing that I found in Korea. It's like people don't directly ask you the source if such and such or so and so did this or whatever happened. Like, they don't ask you. They just hear from the grapevine, and like, it could be skewed, it could be altered or whatever, but they just don't come to you until there's an actual problem. But then they have this whole backstory that may or may not even be true. Anyway, so like, yeah, I stood up for myself, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that, because I was being treated pretty unfairly, and I just don't think that I needed to be treated that way, because I didn't do anything wrong and I was trying my best. So that's all resolved now. For now, there's always going to be problems, but for now, that's the tea. But yeah, I've decided to renew, and I will continue one more year here. Whether or not I renew for longer than that, I have no idea. I deeply miss my family. And I miss my dog, and I miss my friends. So we'll have to see how things work out in the future and where it takes me. So yeah, that's like work update, life update. It's been pretty normal. Things are normal. I have really amazing friends. A lot of shit happened this year. A lot of shit. I've met a lot of people. I've gotten to know a lot of people. I have became friends with a lot of people, but I've also cut off a lot of people. I'm not talking shit. I'm not doing any of that. I don't regret these people that I've met, some of them. But it's interesting to see, like, when you're completely on your own here and you've got no family and no one that you really truly know outside of Korea, like, who's your real friend and who is worth keeping around when you're being played with. Yeah, but right now I have very amazing friends, and they're very supportive, and we're in a healthy spot, I'd like to say. Another major update besides me staying, the biggest update and probably the main reason why I am doing this video is that I adopted a dog. It was a roller coaster ride, if I have to put it into any words. I told myself that I didn't need a dog and I shouldn't get a dog. Like, I need to, like, have time to explore and, like, do me, like, just take Korea by the ball. I'm kidding. Just have time to explore Korea and do things that I want to do with nothing holding me down or anything like that. And I told myself that, like, because I'm super weak and I don't have very good, I don't have a good hold on myself. I told myself 1 year. If I decide to stay one more year, I will get a dog. And it's funny because I actually got this dog before I even decided for sure that I was staying 1 more year. But yeah, I adopted a dog. She's a really, really, really beautiful girl. She's also biggest pain in my ass. I adopted her from a shelter, and the background story is that she was found at around 6 months old somewhere. They picked her up and she was put into the shelter, and she was really timid and she was really sweet and didn't really care about like, she wasn't bothered by dogs. She really liked dogs, and I don't know, I felt it was the same feeling that I had with my dog at home, Bobo. Like, I saw him and I knew he had to be mine. So when I looked at their profiles and their dogs that were available for adoption, I just looked at her and I was like, I want. Like, I would literally just put mine. But the thing is that when I was even considering dogs, like, I knew that I needed to have a dog that was under 9 kilos. So that was in Korea. 9 kilos and under are considered small dogs, and that's like the baseline price of basically everything. But the moment you go past that, you go into middle or large, like everything gets significantly more expensive. And when I had inquired about my dog, she was 10 kilos, and I was like, well, maybe I can like, you know, do something with like I'm taking her to daycare, so like my daycare people, the vet, like maybe I can figure something out there, like, you know, there's no going around that, which is fine. I was prepared to do that financial jump only because I knew she had to be mine. Like, again, I don't know what it is. I just had a feeling, and I had to take it, and I had to jump on it because there was an opportunity for me to adopt a different dog way, way long ago, and I didn't feel prepared. I felt like I didn't want to give up my freedom and the ability to go out in the middle of the night, to go bike riding at the Han River, or like to meet some friends, or go out to party, blah, blah, blah. Like, I wasn't ready to give that up yet. And so I let her go, and she ended up getting adopted, and she is in a beautiful, loving home, hopefully. So I lost that opportunity, but I knew that it wasn't meant to be. Like, I'm not trying to be weird about it or anything like that, but I just felt like it wasn't my time. So then when I decided to finally go and seriously look at dogs, I saw my dog's picture, and I was like, you're it. I have to have you. But yes, I adopted a dog. Come here. Oh yes, this is my dog. Hello. Her name is Harlow, Harlow. Yes, she's what we assume, because she was found and abandoned. We don't know exactly her makeup, but we assume she's a Corgi Jindo mix. That's what I assume, because she's got ginormous ears and a face and color kind of like a Corgi, and the body of a Jindo. She's considered a small dog technically, and yeah, but when I brought her to the daycare, they said there's like a little bit of terrier. They see a little bit of it, but I have no clue. I'm just gonna go with part Jindo, part Corgi, because she's just so cute, and these ears, like, if I swear, if you flap them hard enough, she'll start to fly. Anyways, yes, this is my lovely, lovely baby. This is Harlow. She is, I was told that she was 2 years old, so she was like a full-grown pup. I did not want a puppy. I can't commit to that. It's a lot of work, and, you know, I got Bobo when he was a puppy. I got him at like 6 months, so I knew that I didn't have the time nor the energy to take care of a puppy, especially working the job that I have. So I decided that I was going to get her, and she was like a good age. And then I got her adoption papers, and they said that she was a year old. I was like, what the f-? But yeah, she's over a year, under 2 years, I assume. I don't know. I'm just gonna say she's 1.5, which honestly, when I first got her, I was like, why is she acting this way? She's supposed to be an older dog. She should have more control. This makes just so much more sense. So that's that. I don't really care at this point, because it is what it is. I don't regret her, but she's a big handful, and a big financial burden. But anyways, yeah, backstory on my BB Harlow. I went to go see her for the first time. I went with one of my friends. I just walked her, and at first I felt like, you know, she just wasn't my dog. Like, I'm really big on instinct, I guess. Like, I just felt like deep in my heart, like, she's a lovely, lovely girl. She's amazing. She's so beautiful, but she's not my dog. Like, I looked at a photo that my friend took of us together, and she just didn't seem like she was my dog. Like, I wasn't the type of person to have this kind of dog. Like, and my friends even said this, like, I'm the type of person to have, like, those small miniature dogs, like a Yorkie, or, like, a Poodle, or a Maltese, or a Bichon. Like a small, fluffy dog. And I just, I couldn't agree more because, like, I'm holding my other friend's dog, and she has a Yorkie, and it looks pretty normal. My dog at home, he's a Maltese poodle mix. He's mine. And, like, I don't know. I just, like, there was something in my gut that was like, no, this isn't your dog. You need to go look for something else. But I had felt like such a bond after the first time. I don't know. It was like such an internal fight. But yeah. So then, like, I kept going back every single weekend just to see. And okay, well, no. Let's backtrack. After the initial meet, I had to decide whether or not I was still interested in her. So I had to respond to the shelter and say, like, whether or not I was interested. And I just went ahead with it just in case I had changed my mind, or like I just felt better about it. So then I went with it, and then they were like, okay, well, we will proceed with the board and look at how you guys are, and then see if you guys are a good match. And I really, really like this about the shelter because usually when I think about shelters, it's like they screen the parents, but like very, very loosely. And it's like, okay, if you don't look like you're a sociopathic person, go ahead and have this dog. Like, or even like one of my friend's dogs, Vivi, there was no screening. It's like, you want this dog? Here you go. You got a kennel? Take her home. Congratulations, you have a dog. So I'm really happy that, they got to know me. They asked me questions. They wanted to know what I would do to be able to provide for her. And so they actually went through like hello? Please. Hello? Went through an actual screening thing and, made sure that we were compatible. Like we got along, and like she would have a good future with me. So they told me about a couple days to a week. And so a week passes by, I get no email. More than a week passes by, I get no email. I'm like, okay, I guess they just didn't see me as a potential future, parent for her. And then I was giving up. Like I had like mentally let go of Harlow. Mentally, I let go of adopting a dog, period. And I was like, you know what, maybe it's not the time. Just like with the first dog, it's like, maybe it's just not the time. Maybe I'm not ready, and they might see that. I don't know. Anyway, so then almost 2 weeks later, they send me an email, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a thank you for your interest, but we think that another parent would be suitable for Harlow. And so I was like, great. So I click open this email, and it's like, congratulations, we spoke with the board, and we think you'd be the perfect fit for Harlow. Like, respond back to how we can proceed, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the fuck? I was so confused, and I'm like, me? I was, what? And it was just, I don't know, it was like just such a good feeling to know that they knew that I would be a good fit, a good parent to Harlow. Like it just felt really good. So then starting from then on, I went every weekend to go see her, because I told them, like, you know what, thank you so much, I am so interested, but at the same time I just want to make sure that we are compatible, like we work well together, and that we would have a good friendship, because you know what, sometimes they just don't work out, and that's fine. So I told them, like, is it okay if I met her a couple more times before I decided to adopt? And they were like, yeah, for sure. So I started going every weekend, and I started just to go see her. And eventually I decided that I was going to adopt her, but then I had asked them if I could just have until the new year, like, basically put my adoption on hold, but have her on like a hold tag, like she can either find a foster or just stay at the shelter. Like I didn't have a plan. I just was asking. And so they're like, you know what, yeah, that's okay, like as long as you're gonna actually adopt her, it's fine. And I was like, perfect, okay, so then I'll adopt her in the new year, so then I have like the freedom to do what I want until the new year, and then that's when I start this. And also just to prepare myself mentally, like I like timelines, so like once I know, like on this date you gotta get your shit straight because you're not by yourself anymore, I will. So that happened, and then it's like late September, early October, I think it was like late September, but then I get a frantic text message to say that Harlow has actually been attacked, and my stomach dropped. They didn't say anything else. They just said, Harlow, we're sorry for having to deliver this bad news, but Harlow's been attacked. And I was like, what the? And I got so scared. Hello, that's not a chew toy. Thank you. I got so scared because I was thinking, oh my God, like, did she, like, I was just really scared. So no, she is clearly very well and alive. She was attacked by some of her kennel mates. There was what they assumed to be a little bit of like a bullying situation, because she is a very, very quiet and timid dog. And previously, some of her other kennel mates in the same kennel got adopted. So maybe there was like a power struggle thing, like, the environment's changed and the atmosphere has changed and everything's just different after a couple dogs leave, and then maybe they smell, human on Harlow, like maybe they knew like she's the next one that's gonna go home while the rest of them are still here. If I could adopt all the freaking shelter dogs ever, I absolutely will, but unfortunately I don't have the time nor money or land for that. So there's nothing that I could do, and I chose Harlow, so I'm not going to apologize for that. But she did get attacked. She had puncture wounds all over her legs and a big gash on her chest, which is actually scarred, and all of the little bite marks and tears and stuff with her skin, it's actually all scarred over, and no hair grows on that anymore, and you can like really tell where she was bit. So it was actually really bad. They played it down, obviously, to like make sure I was not gonna freak out, but it was a really bad gash all across her chest, and they inserted a tube to make sure there was like any fluid would come out, and it was just like not it, and I was so upset because obviously I have that protective instinct. She's my dog, and I had adopted her, and I was just waiting for a little bit of time to be without her. And then they asked me if I could adopt her sooner than later because it's getting cold. They had to shave a lot of her fur. There's it's just probably safer for her than to stay in the shelter. And you know what? I was like, that's fine. So I had to hurry and rush the entire process of me getting all of her stuff together. Luckily, my friend who has a dog, Vivi, doesn't use her cage anymore, so I could use that. And like Bobo's cage trained at home, so I was thinking if I trained her the same way that I trained Bobo, they would like, the routine would be easier for her to get along. And I had a lot of support from my other coworkers who have dogs. Like it was really nice to have that much support and that much people to rely on. It was just really nice, and they had a lot of information that I had questions for. So I was well prepared, or as prepared as I could be. And then she had a foster mom to take care of her while she was recovering from the attack, and then she also had to get spayed. So it was like so many hospital visits and like the cone of shame for like 3 whole weeks. It was hello. It was a lot for her, and I felt so bad because she had just finished getting out from the hospital and has to wear this cone because we didn't want her to like nip at her injuries. Hello, excuse me. Yes, we didn't want her to nip at her injuries, so we had her in the cone, and then she has to go back a week and a half later to get spayed, and then to wear the cone again, and also be in a hospital again, and to be gone through a surgery again. It was so much for her, and I felt so bad, but I knew that it had to happen. So that, and then after her spay, they were like, oh, you can have her now. And I was like, doesn't she have to stay a little bit to like get better? I don't know. So then they told me that the foster mom could take care of her. Harlow! They could take care of her for an additional like 2 days. So then I finally got her October 14th, Friday at 7 p.m.
Oh, you're home!
Oh my goodness. She's mine. She's mine. Oh, she's so curious. And that was the day that she was delivered to my doorstep and she became mine forever. Yay! But yeah, now she's mine and she's slowly rubbing herself absolutely everywhere on every wall and playing with every possible toy. But yeah, she's definitely got some trauma and I don't blame her. She was already a little bit of a scaredy cat when I first met her before the attack, and then now it's obviously gotten a lot worse since the attack. So I've enrolled her into a kindergarten so she can stay there while I'm at work, and she's also getting training, so that's really good. And my friend who has the dogs, like, we see each other a lot, so, you know, just for her to get exposure to different types of dogs and, like, just in general know that she's in a safe area with us around, and, like, also other dogs are not always scary. Like, just a lot of exposure. It's slow, but it's steady, and we're getting there, and I think we're gonna be okay, right, Harlow? That's my biggest update. I have a dog. Woohoo! Yeah, the only thing that I need to really worry about is house breaking. Well, she's really good at the potty training thing, but sometimes she'll have the odd mistake. And also, like, my biggest worry is about how to bring her home. For what my research says, it's not going to be too hard. I just need to pay, obviously, the cargo fee because she's too big to be in the cabin, and also make sure her documents are all aligned, she has all of her shots, and then she's ready to go. Like, it shouldn't be too hard, and you know, the shelter is always there to help me if I need it, and they ship dogs all across the world to get adopted. So they're the ones that I should really be asking. Yay! In terms of adopting a dog in Korea, it's fairly simple, outside of what I've already explained. But if you want to know or, like, have any more questions, I can do a second video. Just right now it's getting really long, so there's that. There's really nothing for me to say. I just really wanted to give a life update about work and my dog. This is probably going to be, like, the longest video about an update, but sorry. Hi. I can't. I don't have the time, nor do I have the energy to make consistent videos like I was before. Not that was consistent, but, like, more videos, and I don't really have much to do. Like, I'm always wanting to film, and I'm taking videos of so many things. I actually have, like, 3 or 4 videos that I plan to start editing, but I just haven't had the chance to, like my Busan videos for my trip back in August, and it is November and I have not touched that. And also we went to Nami Island, and we also went on a camping trip. Like, I have footage for all of those. I just haven't had the time or energy or desire to, like, want to sit in front of my computer for hours on end to edit this video together. I've kind of started to do TikToks, but, like, very, very loosely. Like, I'll do it if I want to, and if I don't, then it just sucks. Again, I'm mainly just doing this for, like, my own memories and, like, for people that I care about to look back on. And if they're in this video, then, like, they can look back on that too and, like, revisit the memories that we've made here in Korea. That's, like, my main purpose. But also, I want my videos to be educational, like these sit-down videos about how I came to Korea and, like, the warnings or the process and just everything like that. Like, my main priority to make those type of videos and this video is to educate and to support people who don't get the answers that they want from videos that are like this. Because, like I said, way long time ago, when I was looking at research, when I was doing these videos, when I was looking through these videos, everybody kind of said the same things but didn't answer the questions that I had. And so I wanted to be that person to make sure that I was answering questions that people aren't answering. And I don't know if it's like a controversial thing that I'm answering, but I'm answering them. You know, like my first year review or first month review working in a hagwon, I said a lot of stuff that isn't the best, but I wanted it to be so transparent and helpful to people who are thinking about coming here. Like, it's not all flowers and rainbows, and it's definitely not easy. It's not good. It's not good on you mentally, physically, emotionally when you're really stressed out, and like you will be stressed out. Like, I'm not trying to say like life is supposed to be that easy, but at the same time, you know, like, you are uprooting a very cushiony life that you might have at home. I left my cushiony life back at home to come here to live by myself, to be by myself, to support myself, to be here on my own. And I didn't have these answers. So that's kind of the reason why I'm doing it. I don't know if it's really helping people, but if it is, then I'm really, really thankful. If anybody has any questions, again, please just drop a comment or whatever. Like, I want to be able to answer questions that people are maybe too afraid to ask, or people are too afraid to answer. Like, am I gonna get canceled? I don't know. I'm a nobody, so whatever. I'm not dropping any names, I'm not dropping any information that could get tracked to me, just general inquiries with general answers. But yeah, I rambled long enough. I've introduced my little baby. Come here. Come here. I'll just turn the camera. There you go. Yeah. We're gonna go now. Bye.